So you've bought yourself a TAMIYA TT02 and built it up and driven it. And you enjoy it a lot, but you want to mod it. These are the first mods you should do if you're building out a TAMIYA TT02. So first, if you're modding it for rally or something like that, this is not the video. But if you're modding it for street performance alone, this is what you want to watch. This is my TT02 Celica thingamajiggy. I forgot the year of Celica it is. It's a second gen, I think, or first gen. It's a Celica. It's a second gen, I think. Yeah, it's a turbo 4-wheel drive. So obviously the first mod you're gonna want to do will be the shocks. The stock TAMIYA TT02 shocks, let me go grab one, are horrible. They are friction spring shocks that use preload spacers for preload that are just not good. Like, there are many reasons that they don't work well. So, as you can see, this is the stock shocks. Look at how much play there is. Like, the spring can literally be moved around, and when fully compressed, it feels like crap. And when not compressed, it feels like crap. It feels like crap, is what I'm trying to say. They're really bad. They're not good. Those things kind of go together. Really bad and not good. So the first mod you're going to want to do is your shocks. This is a mod that's almost required for these cars. The stock shocks just barely do anything. In fact, you're better off without them. So that's one of the main mods. The next mod will be a different servo saver or none at all. The stock servo saver doesn't allow you to get full travel out. Also, the stock steering system doesn't either. So you're going to want to mod the steering system to try to get more travel out like I have. Because before, the steering limit's about this, and now it's about... Don't want that bin falling down. And now it's this. It's different and much wider. Also, it doesn't have a servo saver, so the servo is much more active and can push it harder. I'm using a Traxxas servo. I'm not using the stock electronics, however, the XL5 Traxxas system is very close to it. Honestly, not going to make a big difference in the performance. So for the long travel steering system, what you're going to want to do is take this little part that comes with it, drill a hole in it, mount up a steering linkage. You're going to have to buy your linkages separately. These are for an MJX Hypergo. I actually highly recommend them, the MJX Hypergo steering links, because they, at almost full wideness, fit perfectly. So that's what you're going to want to get. So some MJX Hypergo adjustable links. And I think this might be Traxxas or it might be Hypergo for your steering link that connects your servo to it. Drill a hole in the top of this, use a screw and a nut to make it work. And it will give you more steering travel because these links will not hit up against anything, so you'll be able to push out more steering travel. Only thing is you won't get as much suspension travel, but on road, that's not that big of a deal. And then also the shocks. So, as I already said, the stock shocks are horrible. What you're going to want is some top mod, because they're decently cheap and come pre-filled. Top mod oil springs for the TAMIYA TT02. I forgot the exact dimensions, but they're just average size. They're very high quality feeling shocks, as I'll demonstrate with the rear. They feel very nice. They're very squishy. They give your car just the right amount of firmness at no preload. And if you want to toy around with tuning, you can put it up a ton. Next up will be wheels and tires. These are the stock tires on different rims for looks, because I'm testing them out. However, I've got racing slicks for the GTR. On-road car, I forgot what it's called. The GTR, like, Le Mans thingamajiggy, that they sell. Those tires are actually great. They handle really good on-road. And these tires, I noticed, are kind of a little bit roll-happy. So, like, if it gets too much traction, it will flip. But the racing slicks, if you're pushing it too hard in a turn, instead of rolling over, it will just simply slide out, which is better, arguably. Another mod you're going to want to do is a steering gyro. It's not completely necessary, but I highly recommend it. I don't have one on here because I mostly just toy around with this car. I don't really race it. But if you're going to race it at higher speeds, you're going to want a steering gyro. I've tried to upgrade the motor to something higher power. However, in my experience, you aren't going to want that. A higher power motor in ESC is not something that this car can truly support very well. And you're going to need to upgrade the entire drivetrain and stuff. And you're going to need to get different wheels and tires because these tires will just debead, even if they're glued using a high power system. I tried a VXL 3S system and it did not work. So I don't recommend that. I'm running an XL5 because it's got slightly more power. I'm running a radio from an MJX because they don't come with radios out of the box. So that's just that. One thing you're going to want to do, which I don't have, if you're going to be street bashing it or rallying it, you're going to need to get some aluminum hubs and arms because they are very fragile and do break. In fact, I think I have a broken one over here from when I tried to convert it to a rally car. Yep. I hit a little bit of a rock and that just snapped off clean. So you're going to want to upgrade all of that. However, the bulkheads and the chassis should be good. The chassis is very well designed. Like, it's got very minimal flex, and I don't think it will snap because of how reinforced it is. So, yeah. One thing I'd like to bring up, people like to get clipless body systems, like with magnets and stuff. I don't. First of all, this body came with the holes pre-drilled. So you don't really want that. Because, what's it called? If you get in a crash with a clipless system, your body will just come off, which is kind of frustrating, especially in racing, because if you're racing and somebody just knocks your body off, that would be bad. Also, because if you have a light setup and you get in too hard of a crash, it could rip out all of your light wires and you'll have to buy a new setup. So I don't recommend it. Even though it's a popular mod, I don't highly recommend it. I think the stock body mounts work just fine. So next up, this will be one of your final first mods, and really any mod you'll ever really need will be your gearing. You don't really need to gear it up, it's got plenty of speed stock. However, you might want to go with a metal spur because I have a stripped out, well, not stripped out, but like a little bit worn spur right here. And they are pretty weak, and the TAMIYA pinions seem to not live very long, so you might want to get a nicer spur. One thing to know about this car, if you've built it and the wheel hexes aren't fitting on right, it means you built it wrong. My first time around, I ended up cutting my wheel hexes in half because I thought they were just too long. It turns out they weren't. I had built it wrong. So that's something to take into account as well. So all in all, the T28, thinking of airplanes right now, the TT02 is a really good vehicle. You just have to get it tuned perfectly. Tuning these is not very hard. Out of the box, it comes with a lot of play in the steering system, which is kind of still here. But if you get some Traxxas shims, I saw this on Tom Lee's channel and on Poor Boys RC channel. If you get a ton of like Traxxas, what's it called? Shims. I forgot the exact part number, but they're just Traxxas shims for like the Fortec. They fit perfectly and get rid of all of the suspension play. It's not as bad in the rear on this, and it's more an issue with some of their other 10th scale road cars, but the TT02 does have a good bit of steering slop. Yeah, so another thing you're going to want to do is mostly just aesthetic, but they make tons of body mods for these. You don't have to search up TT02, just 10th scale drift car or 10th scale, what's it called? What are they called? Oh, on-road cars. I don't know why I tweaked out. For like a Grand Touring car, you can get a lot of good like body upgrades that look very clean, and the wheelbase is a very common wheelbase, so you can find a lot of aftermarket bodies for it. I have two other bodies for this one, a GTR and a, what's it called? This is the cleaning slime I use. A GTR and a, I think it's a BMW M3. It's a BMW M3. I just don't remember which generation. I think it's that generation between I forgot what it's called. I think it might be the generation between like the E36 and the, I think it's called the E46. So anyways, that's pretty much, oh crap. That's pretty much everything you need to do this car to get it running perfectly and have a really good car. I will see you guys on Sunday with a video about the something. I don't know yet. But like, subscribe, comment down below what's your favorite 10th scale road car. Mine would have to be the TT02, but there are some other great ones like the Phasers. But anyways, those are your essential first mods. I'm not driving it in this video because it's really windy out, and there will just be wind noise in the microphone. If you can see, the trees out there are freaking out. So like, you won't be able to really hear it much at all. So yeah, so pretty much that's it with this car. Like, subscribe, comment down below your favorite 10th scale road car, and I will see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching, and yeah.